Hey everybody, this is Dr. Smith from Accomplished Health and Wellness here in Lawrence, Kansas, and Heather Fiore from Free State Nutrition here in Lawrence. And today we are doing green tea with white mangosteen peach. I don't know if it's good by itself. I always mix it with other things, so
Just keeping it simple today, huh?
Yeah. I kind of ran out of time, so I was like, oh well.
That's okay. It's good.
Yeah, it is actually pretty good by itself. So we have a new camera today, and on this computer, when we do our new camera, we can't do our new microphone. So, but this one has a microphone built in, so hopefully it's good. It does on our side. I don't know, makes the does like a little delay or something. So hopefully it's not happening on when you guys are watching. But you guys can tell us, what would you rather have, the new microphone or the new camera? You decide. And if you don't, we will. Okay. So today we are talking about supplements, like vitamins and minerals and stuff. Those things that you buy over the counter, and they're like a buku bucks, right?
It can be.
Yeah, people spend lots of money. I mean, I actually have patients that'll be on like 20 supplements. I'm like, how do you do that? It's like a meal. I don't know. Hi, Carrie. So we were just going to talk about that. Did you have anything like just kind of off the top of your head that
Well, I mean, I
you
think
want to focus on?
like our sort of the take-home message is that these are supplements. They're not
Not to replace your meal. Yeah.
It's not to replace. It's like if you can't get what you need from food,
yeah,
then you should take a supplement.
Yeah. And you can go crazy with supplements. There's like so many out there. They're all like alphabetized, and
I mean, it's overwhelming when you're
really
just trying to like get something and you're like,
what is that?
all these brands and then all these different things, and yeah, they're alphabetized. Like, it's like it's like the spice aisle. Like it's crazy.
I went looking for some CoQ10 ones, because of the antioxidants in it and whatever. It can help with some fatigue and joint pain and stuff.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even listed under CoQ10. It was listed under its other name, which is like quine something. I can tell you what it is.
But you can start to think like, gosh, I must, it must be I should be taking some of this stuff because they're there,
and there's multiple aisles.
And you have this, there's all this sort of talk about like our food supply and whether we're
our food is as nutrient dense as it used to be.
Are we getting, are the nutrients still in the food like,
yes,
they used to be? And I mean, for the most part, yes.
The food, there's stuff in the good stuff is still in our food?
Yes, I would say so. Is that, there's some loss of quality, of course, with foods that get...
Ubiquinol, that was it. So sometimes it goes as like Cunol, but ubiquinol, that's the other name for it. So there you go, ubiquinol. It was under the U instead of the C for CoQ10 because that's what everyone knows it by.
I know.
I mean, they're failure there, right?
Decision there on their part.
All right. Sorry about our camera. I was moving too much. Okay. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about some of the medical side. And so in family medicine, we use the U.S. Preventative Task Force recommendations, and there's just like everything, there's so many recommendations out there for everything, right? I can't follow them all. There's like cardiology recommendations, OB-GYN, there's peds. I mean, it's everything, right? So in family medicine, we usually use the U.S. Preventative Task Force, and they actually have some recommendations on supplements. So I'm going to tell you. Now you know. One is about vitamin D and calcium supplement to prevent fracture. And so, every time you go to the doctor, you get when you're over 65, you want to be tested for your bone density, and that's like every other year, except your insurance doesn't want to pay it. So maybe you'll get it every other year. But it's to look for, you know, how dense your bones are and to see if you are at risk of fracture.
Sounds
And
important.
then we always want to be proactive, right? So we think about putting them on calcium and vitamin D because that makes sense, right? So for men or postmenopausal women, there's actually no recommendation for calcium and vitamin D. It's what we call an I recommendation, meaning that there's insufficient evidence to say whether or not this will help.
Wow.
So the data is out there, but there's just nothing to say whether it actually helps. For community dwelling postmenopausal women, and this is at doses greater than 400 for vitamin D and 1,000 for calcium. Again, the recommendation is an I. Insufficient evidence to say it actually helps. Right. And then for postmenopausal women at doses less than 400 and vitamin D, or for vitamin D and less than 1,000 for calcium, it says actually don't do it. So if it's less than those, it's not helpful at all. That's what that means.
Wow.
If you're taking more than that, we don't know if it's helpful.
Huh.
So I don't know if it's beneficial or not.
It sounds like you should just eat some dairy.
Right? Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to get the vitamin D though. That's what's interesting to me. Like,
right.
Aren't these people low in vitamin D? I would think.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and
What's the best way to get vitamin D? You can get it from mushrooms.
It's really hard to get from food, I think is the point. That,
right.
you know, most vitamins and minerals and stuff you can get from food fairly easily, but vitamin D is just not naturally in a lot of things. Yeah, it's in mushrooms, it's in fatty fish.
It's in milk when they put it in.
It's in milk, but right, because they add it to the milk,
right.
And now, like, you know, sometimes they add it to yogurt or maybe cheese, but you know, it's not naturally in there.
I make myself tall because I feel like.
Yeah, you're kind of
like,
way down there.
Yeah, there we go.
That's a little better.
All right, now I'm telling.
But so vitamin D is really hard to naturally get. The sun is really a good way to get vitamin D. You have to be careful. You have to weigh, skin cancer.
So what we always say, actually, so if you're looking for vitamin D through the sun, then what you do is you go outside for 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go back inside and put your sunscreen on because you don't want skin cancer.
Right. But you know what? The thing about that, I mean, that sounds crazy, right? Like, who does that?
Right.
But like, if you put sunscreen on, you're supposed to wait
10 minutes.
So can't you just put it on right away?
I always wonder that too.
And then go out and get your vitamin D, and then the sunscreen kicks in.
I usually just go out and exercise for a little bit.
Do you?
Yeah, and I don't wear my sunscreen, and I figure that's good.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't burn.
But there are places like Rochester, where I came from, where the sun is not out. And it's not strong enough, and it's so cold that you don't have skin exposed for months at a time. So, what's happening there? How are people getting there?
I don't know. Well, and I think that this recommendation doesn't say, don't do it. It just says we don't know if it helps.
Right. So you need to be tested before you start taking any supplements or anything.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Right? Like, see what your levels are before you just start popping pills.
Because it is actually a pill. You are taking something. And the crazy thing about supplements is that all these things over the counter, they're not regulated by the FDA. So you have no idea what you're getting. Yeah. That's the thing that is so crazy to me.
Mm-hmm. You really don't know. Like, they can say you're getting this much vitamin D or this much CoQ10 or whatever, but there's nobody really minding the store.
Right? They want to mind everything else, but I guess
fascinating.
I know I don't know what about it. It's crazy.
It's way. I mean, I don't know how they even could.
Oh, I don't know what's happening to our camera.
No, fuzzy there. I don't know how they even could regulate this industry. It's so big. Like, they don't have the people power to get it done. But anyway, they don't do it because it's.
So the other one is vitamin supplementation, just vitamins in general, to prevent cardiovascular disease and cancer. And the recommendation, this is for healthy adults without special nutritional needs. It does not apply to children, women who are pregnant or may become, well, women who are pregnant, or persons with that are chronically ill or in the hospital. So the recommendation for all the non-chronically ill adults
Okay.
that aren't pregnant is it's an I recommendation.
Mm,
There's not enough data.
okay.
For single or paired, so that's for a multivitamin. For single or paired nutrient supplements, it's an I. For beta carotene and for beta carotene or vitamin E, guess what?
Is it
It's
an
a
I?
D. Do not do.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For cardiovascular disease and
Remember
cancer.
like 15 years ago?
Yeah, it's like
on
everyone's on
E.
vitamin E, right? So no,
No, don't
you
do
don't
it.
need that. Don't do it. It means that there is no benefit to taking it to prevent that cardiovascular disease. So that brings me to this other study that was done. And this was in the Journal of American College of Cardiology. And they had a study that was from January of 2017 to January of 2012 to October of 2017. And they specifically looked at vitamin D, calcium, and vitamin C. And it was to prevent cardiovascular disease, heart attack, stroke, and premature death. And they found it didn't help. So you can take those off your list too. They also studied vitamin A, B1, B2, B3, which is niacin, B6, B9, which is folic acid, C, D, E, beta carotene, calcium, iron, zinc, magnesium, and selenium in that study. They found that folic acid and B vitamins seem to prevent stroke and stroke, but that's maybe only if you're deficient. So if you're not, then it's not going to help.
Yeah. Don't start popping pills.
Right. And the biggest take home from this article was that a healthy diet with fruits, veggies, legumes, nuts contains a lot of the nutrition that everyone needs.
This is my surprise face.
I know, right? Haven't we been saying that for Mediterranean diet, diet, right?
Yeah.
I love this. They said that supplements, and people, we are just bringing you the information. Do not beat us up. We are only the messengers here. We're trying to help you to be healthier and save money in your pocketbook. All right?
Yes.
This article said, and I quote, "They are powerful placebos, and most evidence shows they are not necessary."
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I used to work with kids and families, and a lot of times parents would ask if their kid needs a multivitamin. And, generally they do not.
Right.
But if you get a national brand that is reliable, and it makes you feel good to give it to your kid, fine. They're probably peeing out most of those vitamins,
what they don't. Yeah.
Right?
That's why their urine turns neon yellow.
Yeah, and it's a waste of money. But if it makes you feel good, fine.
They're not going to hurt.
Right. It's not going to hurt as long as it's, a national brand and it's actually like reasonable amounts. It's not like, 1,000% of whatever.
Oh, right.
Like you got to be on the lookout for those.
Yeah.
You don't need that.
Yeah.
But remember that it's not. It doesn't mean you don't have to eat your vegetables now, or you don't have to eat a healthy diet.
It's not a replacement.
No.
It's a supplement.
Right.
For what you're not getting.
It's a placebo.
It is. It's a placebo.
I love that.
It is. But actually, the recommendation for anyone over the age of 65 is actually that you're not supposed to do multivitamins in anyone over the age of 65. And the reason is that they don't reduce your all-cause mortality, and they don't know why, but sometimes they can cause death. And so it must be something in there that's becoming toxic in the elderly population. So, you don't need it after 65 either.
Yeah. So sometimes it's really not even just
A placebo.
a placebo. Sometimes it's actually dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you should know what you're putting in your body. That's important.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah.
I think another important thing is that sometimes, depending on what medication you're taking, sometimes medications can interact, or a medication might deplete a certain nutrient.
Yeah.
So in that case, then you might need to supplement that.
Yeah.
Nutrient.
Do you know what my favorite supplement of all time is?
No.
Cat claw. Okay. Who takes cat claw?
It doesn't sound vegetarian.
No.
Why? What's it for?
Okay, so what they do. Okay, so I gotta let the camera fix itself.
I know, because we moved.
So how the cats are always like digging and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So apparently there's some antibacterial something in their claws. So they take these claws and then they grind them up and then they put them in a capsule and then people take that for antibacterial.
You know where the cats are digging? The cat litter box. Ew. Ew.
And people ingest it. And that one is gotta be after all the haze goes away. There it is. That one has to be my favorite.
Sure.
Cat claw. Gross.
Kind of gross.
I mean, you wouldn't sit there and eat your cat's claw.
No.
Why would you put it in a capsule and take it? That's gross.
That's totally gross. So I wrote down a couple of other, supplements that I thought were pretty common. Yeah. So omega-3s are a common one, right? Like fish oil or flaxseed oil. Mm-hmm. And it is one of those times, better to get from food if you can.
Do you know what is neat about fish oil?
Mm-mm.
So the JNC7 was like fish oil. And they wanted everyone to be on fish oil because it was going to lower their cholesterol.
Right.
And then the JNC8, I believe, came out and said fish oil didn't do anything for your cholesterol, so you can stop it. So I stopped a bunch of patients that were on fish oil. And pretty much almost every one of them that was over the age of 65 came back and was like, I restarted my fish oil. And I'm like, why? And they're like, because 2 weeks later, I had so much joint pain that I just went back on it. And it's actually very good for joints. Uh-huh. So I do actually recommend the fish oil for joints. I saw that across the board in the elderly population. And so, and I've even seen that in myself. I'm not getting younger. So I used to take some fish oil when I was pregnant, because you want your kid's brain to be all perfect and brainy. And so then I stopped it after I had my baby, and I started having all this really bad knee pain. And it was to the point I was like, oh my God, I'm getting old. I'm 60 now. Joint pain. And I was like, maybe it's because I stopped my fish oil. So I restarted it.
Wow.
It's gone.
That's cool.
I know. And I hadn't injured myself either. So
right.
It was both knees and whatever. So
anyways.
Works for joint pain, maybe not so much for your cholesterol though.
Maybe not. I think it's also good for dry eyes, right? If people have dry eyes.
Yeah, and your brain.
Yes, don't forget that.
The myelin, it helps with the myelin.
Yes.
So that one I do actually recommend that one.
Mm-hmm. And then there's fiber, which I think often people take. It's, we've talked about fiber before.
Just eat some chia seeds. Put it in your yogurt.
Yeah, it is hard, but important.
It is.
To eat the foods that have the fiber, not just for the sake of the fiber, but for all the other things that those foods do for us.
Because they're nutrient dense.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that would be, once again, the best case scenario is you get your fiber from food. But if you don't, some people benefit from taking fiber.
That stuff's gross. Have you ever tried that, Metamucil?
It's not good.
Oh man, who can drink that?
People.
And it's you can't even get it dissolved altogether. So it's like drinking crunchy water. I'm not big on orange juice either because I like it has to be pulp free. I can't.
Can I do the pulp? I
No, it's
the
like
pulp.
little.
It's like chewing your juice.
Yeah, it's like little
like
stuff. It's like stuff in my drink. It's like floaties. You know, I got enough floaties as it is right now. I don't need more in there that are like supposed to be in there. You know, I'm like, cut the floaties out. I'd rather eat an orange. But anyway, but fiber, yeah, colon cancer, you know, major deterrent of the colon cancer. So
yes,
high fiber diet.
Right.
Because I think in general that, like, you want your gut going.
You do.
How do you think that you get all the nasty stuff out?
Right.
You poop it out, people, and you need the fiber for that. But on a high note, if you are doing fiber, you need to be drinking water.
Oh gosh.
Because if you don't, you're gonna be constipated.
Yeah.
It really turns to like cement in your gut.
That's very unpleasant.
Who wants a cement gut?
No, that's trouble.
Right?
So we could talk all day about all the different kinds of supplements that are out there at the store.
We probably don't even know what they all are.
I don't think we know what they all are. But like if you have questions about something in particular, like you should ask, you know, in the comments for something. Because like really,
and if we don't know, we'll look it up.
Yeah, how would we even decide what else to talk about? We just picked like the most common things that people might take as a supplement.
Yeah. So
man, I mean, you could get into like St. John's Wort and
all
the herbs.
Oh man, you don't want that with your Coumadin. It's not good.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. People don't understand how they interact with their medicines.
Yes.
And I love the disclaimer that's on the back that reads, ask your physician before taking this.
Right, of course.
Thanks. Put all the blame on us.
Yeah.
How do I know what's all out there?
You really don't.
No. And do you know that there's not a lot of data either? So you can't even go.
Right. There is a natural medicines database that I use.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, a lot of times they just don't have the information.
I like actually WebMD.
Yeah,
has one too. That is good. I'm good. Hold on. That is good. WebMD is good too.
Yes.
You're going to be on video if you're loud. Anyways, we had someone come in. Did you have anything else?
No, I was just thinking let's pick our next topic.
Though.
So,
what do you want to do?
I don't know. What haven't we done here? We could talk about diabetes. We haven't done much of that yet.
Oh man, such a big topic. We could do some diabetes.
Okay.
All right, people. We're going to do diabetes next week. So please join us. And like always, if you have any questions at all, let us know. Another thing, we might, in the next 2 weeks, change over our streaming into YouTube, but we'll let you know.
You know what? Speaking of the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be on vacation.
Oh, then we're going to postpone it for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
When do you come back? When school starts?
Yeah.
16th?
Yeah, so the 14th we'll be back.
Okay, so the two of us will be back when she gets back from vacation.
3 weeks.
But I might do something next week.
Yeah.
Something different. We'll see.
Yeah.
All right.
Possibly
Anyway,
on YouTube.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
Yeah.
Then I can figure it out before you get back.
Right. Work it all out.
Yeah. All right. Well, you guys have a great day, and hopefully we will see you again soon. Bye-bye.